are the 5 rules that every family needs. The 5 areas that are going to be the basis of our family manifesto. That's what we're going to find out today. First, did you complete video number 1? If not, feel free to pause this and go back and watch that first. And have you done your homework? Did you get in touch with what those things were that trigger you so much and why they're actually family values hiding in plain sight? And did you start to feel that clarity creep in about the things you are absolutely allowed, no, entitled, no, obligated to expect from your children? If so, we are well on our way, and let's dive in to today's topic. Remember, most parents are trying to build rules like it's a grocery list, reactively, from whatever went wrong this week. It's like our screen rules were born the day that we found out our kid was watching something awful. Or the respect rule was born on the day our 8-year-old slammed a door in our face. The chores rule was born on the day when we finally snapped about the folded laundry being left on the bed. But rules born from incidents are like band-aids. They're reactive. They patch a wound. They don't build a culture. What you need is not just more rules or 0 rules. What you need is 5 rules that cover everything. So how did these 5 rules cover everything? You're about to find out. But first, hi, I'm Avital. I'm the founder of HiFam. I'm the mother of 5, and I am so thrilled that you're with me here on this journey to a family reset. I suffered from being burnt out by attachment parenting and gentle parenting and empathy everything, and realizing that I was raising little spoiled brats, if I'm honest. Well, I love my kids and I'm very proud of them, but I wasn't proud of their behaviors as a result of my oh so soft parenting. And I realized that I did have to introduce boundaries, expectations, standards, and follow through with real consequences to make sure that my kids were stand-up citizens, people who were a pleasure to be around, likable by society, and people who in the future will find fondness with bosses, with girlfriends, with whoever it is that they want to build a relationship with. That is something that I realized I was letting them down on by being way too soft, way too gentle, and not actually teaching them the skills and the guidelines and the expectations that it takes to succeed in this life, to be happy and healthy. If that sounds anything like something you're worried about, then you are in the right place and you're amongst friends. We are like-minded parents here. I have thousands of coaching students from all over the world, and I know that this is a very, very common experience. So let's dive into why I chose these particular 5 categories. The truth is that every family conflict that you've ever had will probably fall into one of these 5 areas that I'm about to outline. Every unspoken expectation that you've ever had could easily fall into the umbrella of one of these 5 categories. Every value that you want to pass on to the next generation lives in these 5 areas. You see, I've been working with families for over 10 years, and every single one of their issues, every single one, traces back to one of these. Every single one. This isn't a framework I invented. It's a framework I observed in the strongest families I know, across cultures, and I think even across centuries. And that's because these are umbrella categories. They're broad, and they're too broad to really be a rule, but you're going to create your family rules within them. Let's start with the first category, who we are and what we stand for. Number 2 is relationships, how we treat each other. Number 3 is growth, who we are becoming. Number 4 is contribution, what we each give to this home. And number 5 is belonging, how we show up for others. Now, notice what this list is not. It's not rules like no hitting or clear your plate after dinner. It's not screens off at 7 p.m. It's not do your homework. Those are more like laws. These are the principles, the basic rules, the foundation or the constitution that those laws flow from. 5 sentences, 5 mantras, 5 beliefs. That's it. That's what strong families run on. That's enough to reset your mind and give you the clarity you need to build a strong family culture. So it's less like a rule book and more like a compass. And I have simplified this on purpose so that you can really walk away from these 5 days feeling refreshed and clear and confident. So today we're going to start with assessing where you are around now in each of these areas. This is basically your homework section, but we're gonna do it now together, live. Okay, you ready? Get your pen. For each of these areas, I'm gonna ask you some honest questions, and I want you to just take a deep breath in and really answer as honestly as you can and assess where you really are right now with your family. This should help you get clarity on where we are. We always want to know where point A is so that then we can see our improvements and celebrate our wins as we edge towards point B. Let's start with the first category, identity. Does your family have a clear sense of who you are and what you stand for? Do your children know what your family believes in and what you want to guide them to believe in? Do they know which torch they are carrying forward? Could they name the belief system, the worldview, the religion that you are passing on through to the next generation? Or is it vague? Is it unspoken? Is it assumed? All families have an identity. They have a belief system. They have a worldview. They have that culture. But most families never name it. They never identify it and they never make it explicit. When you make your values overt and clear, when you make your belief system something spoken, something tangible, something that your children can describe, we believe in, we stand for, our values are, our belief system is, our worldview is, when they're able to do that, that's powerful. An unnamed identity has no power. It doesn't help your children with dilemmas, with forks in the road, with understanding what they should do. It doesn't offer them a moral compass. But when you're clear and named in your identity, in who you are and what you stand for, your children have an overarching rule that they are then able to follow. Now, this might be a bit confronting for you. You might say, I don't know what our identity is. I don't know what our belief system is. We're just in the culture, in the neighborhood, town, city, country, nation that we live in. We don't have a particular religion, or we're not very affiliated, or how to explain our worldview to our children. And that might feel a bit overwhelming in the moment, but that's really good data. And that's a great starting point, because that's what I'm here for, to help you to craft and get clear on what the values are that you are trying to transmit to your children, the leadership that they need and deserve from you. So don't worry, we're just assessing now, and we're going to try and stay rather neutral and not get too emotionally flooded by what we're doing. All right? Let's move on to number 2, relationship. When things get a little bit hard, when there's conflict, when there's stress, when there's turmoil, or even maybe when there's crisis or tragedy, are we clear? Do we have a clear understanding of how we treat each other? Is there repair? Do people know how to come back from conflict? Or does tension just linger silently until someone explodes? You see, conflict is inevitable. But living together with other people and having a relationship, i.e. being a family, demands clarity on what our expectations are. If you want close sibling relationships, if you want that friendly relationship between you and your children to be deep friends, if you want to be their safe space and their person, you're going to actually have to explicitly create a structure, a belief system, a rule that shows that family is very important to us, that we repair our conflicts, that we treat each other with a certain level of respect, that we communicate with each other in this way, or that we spend this type of quality time together. These kind of constitutional foundational rules make explicit how we are to handle conflict and how we are to treat each other. A family without relationship rules doesn't avoid conflict. It just has no way to go through it and to overcome it. So take a moment to assess. Are our relationships strong, clear? Is there clarity on what our expectations are and how we treat each other? Or do we just kind of roll with the punches and turn the other cheek? Is there just a sort of default, automatic, how we treat each other thing? If someone suddenly slams a door or curses or walks out in the middle of a conversation, do we have a kind of constitutional foundational belief about what that is? Is that an infraction? Is that okay? Is that accepted? Is repair expected? Who initiates it? Is that the type of thing that we are clear on what we are transmitting to our child? That this is what's expected of you and this is how you should treat others in the family. If not, This challenge is going to help you get clarity on that. Number 3 is growth. Does everyone in your home have a sense of what they're working towards, of what they're accountable for, of what their ambitions and goals are, of what's expected of them every day in order to be productive? Is effort valued? Is failure okay and something we learn from? Is growth expected? Many parents just kind of put their hands up and think that children, in any downtime they might have, should just waste it away on video games or chill. But the truth is that in your family, you want to be really explicit about what you think a day well spent is. What do you think a 7-year-old or a 14-year-old should be doing with their time? Are screens just the default? Do we always choose easy over hard? Are we seeing each day as a precious gift and productivity as a net good? Or are we seeing it as something that we shouldn't expect of our children? Remember, here in this challenge, we're in the business of raising expectations along with the warmth. So ask yourself, what are my expectations over my kids' growth? Spiritual, intellectual, academic, physical. Every day is a gift. Are we treating it like one in our family? The third thing is contribution. Let me ask you, does every person in your family know how your home runs? Does your child believe that they are a contributor or that they're a guest? Do they treat you like their servant, expecting you to do everything and patting themselves on the shoulder and congratulating themselves and nothing short of getting a trophy if they help a little bit? A child who grows up as a guest in their own home creates an adult who expects to be waited on hand and foot. So it's not kindness to just keep serving everyone. We think we're doing it for them, but actually they need to do chores for themselves. It's not for us, it's for them. It's for their development. It's so they can grow into stand-up citizens and great spouses and great colleagues. So not being explicit about the expectations of your child to contribute to the household is not kindness. It's disservice wrapped in love. Number 5 is belonging. Does your family have a sense of its place in the world? Do you have an open home, a community, people you show up for? Or is your family an island, secluded, isolated, and even lonely? You see, the research on this is unambiguous. Children who grow up with a sense of belonging to something bigger than themselves are more resilient, more generous, and more mentally healthy. Belonging is not a nice to have. Just like the other 4 categories, it's a need. Children need a sense of identity, of relationships, of growth, of contribution, and of belonging. And we need to offer them clear standards and expectations in each of these areas. Now, the truth is that you already have some expectations in all of these areas, but they are probably unspoken. They may have been unexcavated even by yourself. You may be so wrapped up in the idea that you should follow the child's lead that you haven't been clear on being a leader in these areas and making sure that they follow your lead. An unspoken rule is just resentment waiting to happen. It means that we haven't been clear about what we expect, we haven't been premeditated or preventative and telling them what to do, and we're so squirmish and uncomfortable, hesitant and doubtful about our own authority that we haven't made the unspoken rule explicit. And then when our child inevitably trespasses that rule and breaks that boundary, we lose it. That is part of what's happening when you swing from overly nice, warm, relaxed, and flexible to suddenly losing your cool, yelling, or punishing. It's because when you were overly nice, warm, and flexible, you did have expectations. You just weren't communicating them. And when your child inevitably tripped over them, you suddenly got triggered because your values were being crossed. The truth is that you probably do know what you expect, but your children don't. And so you might lose it when they don't meet an expectation that they never even knew existed. So I want you to walk through each of these 5 areas and say out loud to yourself, write it down with a real pen and real paper, not on your phone. What do you actually expect here? What do you actually believe should be the standard? Something that maybe you never said out loud. That expectation, that is your starting point. So for each of the 5 areas, write down, what unspoken rule already exists in my house right now? Is it working? Yes or no? Is the standard high enough? And what do I actually believe should be true? Remember, you're not writing some final version today. You're not coming up with your mantras. We're not printing this on a beautiful poster just yet. We're just turning the lights on and seeing what's there. All right, so now you know what these 5 areas are. But tomorrow is the day that surprises everyone. I'm going to show you how one sentence, one single foundational belief can handle 1,000 different situations in your home. We're going to simplify your language right down and make things feel much lighter and clearer. So you never have to reinvent the wheel in the middle of a conflict again. This is the thing that Grandma Marge knew and we've forgotten. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. So now, for me, hit subscribe, hit the like button. For others and for yourself, please leave a comment below with your key takeaway. Share this challenge with someone who you think would benefit. A friend, your mom WhatsApp group, your Facebook group, your Peloton moms community, wherever you think other moms are who could also do with a family reset. I'll see you tomorrow.